everyone, it's me again, Joy Pardo, and for today's video we're gonna be discussing about the timeline when you want to find a job here in Singapore. Okay, kalma lang. Alright, so recently I've been receiving a lot of comments on Facebook, not on Facebook, but on YouTube, regarding, you know, the working experience and everything about finding a job in Singapore. In fact, it's quite funny. I mean, I'm not really a popular YouTuber or what. Let me just share with you one experience before I go to the actual topic. So the other day I was working, and then there is these two Filipino ladies who walked into our shop and asked if we have job hiring. And to be honest, I'm not really very sure. If I'm not wrong, we don't have, because we don't have quota. So I cannot really... Wait lang ah. Okay, so I cannot really answer them because I'm not really very sure. As far as I know, we don't really have quota. So we won't be able to hire foreigners as of the moment. But to be, I mean, I'm not an HR, so to be extra sure, I went to my manager and asked him what we need to do, if we will hire them or not, you know. And my manager told me to just get the resumes from them and then pass it to me, then I'll see what I can do. And so I went back, and then I told him what my manager told me, that I'm gonna get their resumes, and then we'll see what we can do. We're gonna contact them if we have any openings for them, and so on. And then one of the two girls was like, Ate is like big sister. Big sister, it's like, are you the one in the you're the one doing the vlog, right? And I was like, yeah, because I'm actually doing vlogs for the company I'm working for. And then she was like, and then I asked her, so you found out about us because of the vlogs, is it? And she was like, no. Basically what happened was, it's actually my personal vlog and not the company vlog that she saw me into. And I just want to like extend my appreciation and my admiration to all the Filipinos and other nationalities who really come here and really try their best to find a job. It's very tough to go to a foreign land without you knowing anyone, without the assurance that you'll be able to find a job, you know. But yeah, there are people who's willing to take that risk, who's willing to take that challenge and still go here and try to, you know, to really find one. I guess that's a very courageous step, and that's a very big step for you to really get that job that you're looking for. You know what, even if you don't find a job here in Singapore, those people who already tried, for sure they'll be able to find one, maybe not here, but maybe on your own country. And you know, just continue to really, you know, to really get into your dreams. Sometimes it's just that our plans are not as good as the plan of God for us. So if you cannot find it here, I'm sure you'll find it elsewhere, and maybe that's a greater plan of God for you. So yeah, I just want to extend my admiration to everyone who's really trying to run after their dreams. It's very tough. It's not easy, it's not fun, but it's worth taking that risk, and it's worth taking that step, because if you don't take that first step, you'll not even know if you can get there or not. Ang lalim eh, may hugot. But anyway, okay, going back to the topic, how long would it take for you to find a job in Singapore? What's the timeline like? And so on. So I'll be sharing with you the timelines for myself, for my husband. Actually, it's different for everyone. So the best I can do is just to share with you our own, you know, timelines and our own experiences, so that from there you can have your own idea what's the processing time like. Okay, so I came here December, no, not December. I came here July, first few weeks of July. Okay, I managed to get the job first week. I'm wrong. I managed to get the job last week of July, around there. I forgot already what's the date, but in less than a month, because after my third week, I went back to the Philippines. So I never maximized my 4 weeks, because okay, for tourists, especially from Philippines, I'm not so sure from other countries, but from Philippines, when you come here, you don't need to apply for a visa or what. You just come here. In the airport, they will give you how many days. The maximum is 30 days. So after they give you that 30 days, then you have 30 days to stay here. You go do your work and try to find as much as you can. So I did mine for 3 weeks, and I managed to get it in less than 3 weeks. The only thing is that my passport is expiring. So my boss was like, if I'm gonna hire you, I want to do it in 2 years contract. I don't wanna, I don't wanna apply and then it's just less than a year, so it doesn't really make sense. So he asked me anyway. He still need to refresh his quota during that time, so he don't have any quota. There is a certain time, there's a certain cycle whereby the quotas will refresh. For example, for instance, there's 7:1. Today I don't have any quota, but there's one of my employees resigned, or I kicked off one of my employees. So my quota will refresh in this specific cycle, or in this specific date, and after that date, then I can apply for a new employee that needs quota. So since it will take a while, my boss asked me to go back to Philippines, renew my passport, and then come back here once the visa is approved, once my work permit is approved. So I went back to the Philippines. My visa was applied, or my work permit was applied on a Monday, and it was approved on a Wednesday. So in less than a week, my visa was approved. So that was way back September, 5 years ago. So now it's 19, so that is 14. 18, 14. So September 2014, my pass was approved, so I fly back here on September 9, something like that, 9. And then, yeah, I started working something. So it only took me 3 days to approve my work pass 5 years ago. Okay, after my first contract expired, I need to reapply for my permit. Second time. The second time, it took me about a week. It took me about a week for me to get the visa. And that was 2016. Okay? After 2 years again, actually 2 years and a half, which is just a few months back, because if I'm not wrong, it was December or January. It took me 2 weeks for my pass to be approved. Okay, so again, 5 years back, 2014, it took me about 3 days. After 2 years, so that will be 2016, it took me 1 week. Then 2018 to 2019, end of 2018 to the beginning of 2019, it took me 2 weeks to get my visa approved. So I guess it depends actually on the timing, and then maybe as time goes on, it may be slightly longer and longer and longer, because they need to check more things. But it really depends at the end of the day. Okay, so that's my timeline. So it took me 3 weeks to get a work. First application of visa is 3 days. Second application of visa is 1 week. Third application is 2 weeks. Now, for my husband's experience, he tried finding work. He arrived here December, mid of December. He got the job mid of January, before the mid of January. So same as me, it's like around 3 weeks then he found a job. After that, he was applied on a Tuesday or Wednesday. Let's assume Tuesday. His pass was approved on a Saturday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 4 days. 3 to 4 days, around there. And that was way back 2015. That was way back 2015. 4 days for 2015. After the first contract, he need to recontract. It took him 2 weeks for the pass to be approved. Okay, so that will be 2015, 4 days, 2017, 2 weeks. Okay, a lot of timelines, right? So it's quite safe to say that maybe 4 to 5 years back, it was a lot faster because both our experiences was less than a week. But after that, it becomes about 1 to 2 weeks. Okay, which means that if you're gonna be coming here in Singapore 2019, you have to find a job after 2 weeks of coming here, because you need the other 2 weeks, 1 or 2 weeks, to approve your pass. Now, here's the twist. My cousin came here May. My cousin came here on May. He tried finding a job. Okay. He got the job 1.5 months after he came here. How does that happen? It can't be. How can he find a job after 1.5 months when we're only allowed to stay here for 30 days? So it's a secret. Okay, what happened was, after his third week, anyway, he's a guy, it's a lot stricter when it's a girl, I think. So what happened was, after his third week, he go overseas, which is actually just Indonesia. After his third week, he went to Indonesia for a day and come back here in Singapore and was stamped another 30 days. So meaning he was allowed to stay here 30 days, and then afterwards he's allowed to stay here another 30 days after the third week. Okay, and then let's cut it from here. My battery's gonna die. Bye. Alright, I'm back. So nag-charge lang ako. I just charged my camera for a while. The battery of my camera for a while because it's empty. So yeah, going back to the story of my cousin coming here. He came here around May. He managed to find a job after 1.5 months, which means that he went overseas and come back here in Singapore. So after his third week, he go Indonesia and come back here in Singapore. It's not a safe thing to do. It is because it doesn't guarantee you that you'll be able to come back here. There are some instances whereby they'll ask you to go back to the port of entry, which means, say for example, you came from Singapore, then you flew to Indonesia, then you fly back to Singapore, then they will tell you, no, you go back to Indonesia, then you fly back to Philippines. And then, you fly back to Indonesia, and then from Indonesia, you go back to your home country or something like that. Yeah, it really depends on the immigration officer that will handle your case. But for my cousin's one, luckily he managed to come back here in Singapore after he did the exit in Indonesia. So after that, he managed to find a job after 1.5 months. So that's another option for you. Although it's not recommended, it's another risk that, it's up to you to take or not. So yeah, after he found a work, we all thought, based on the experiences that I shared with you earlier of mine and my husband's experiences, we thought that it would take 2 weeks for him to get 2 weeks, not 2 weeks for him to get the visa approved. But actually, it only took him 1 week. He was keyed in. So when we say key in, it means that you're applied. So application of work permits here in Singapore are online. So when they say you're keyed in or you're key in already in the system, it means that they already apply online. So he was keyed in on Monday, and then he was basically approved the Monday after, around 2:30 5:30 p.m. Which is, I mean, it's a good news, right? But actually, yeah, it's very hard to say. Okay, should I say it or not? Should I say it or not? Should I say it or not? Okay, should I say it or not? Never mind then. Okay, I won't say it. So anyway, yeah, there's something that happened, but yeah, so but he managed to get the pass approved after a week, which is a very, very, very lucky of him. So yeah, I'm just sharing the timelines with you, so at least you have a rough idea how the system goes, how long before you can find a job in Singapore, and you know, what's the waiting time like from the time that you were approved up to the time that your pass is issued, or yeah, from the time that your pass was applied until the time that your pass was approved. So yeah, I would recommend that you're really, the first 2 weeks that you come here in Singapore, really work on it. Make sure that you'll be able to find a job after those 2 weeks, and then I mean, it will give you a better chance to really stay for good without any hassle of, you know, exiting, going here, going there. Because once your visa is approved, you'll be issued with an IPA. An IPA will be enough, I think, for you to apply for the actual, yeah, it will be enough for you to apply the actual card. And then once you get the card, then you're a legit worker of Singapore. So immigration officers are really very strict about it, especially, I mean, if you the flaw or the drawback of staying here for long is that it will be very hard for you to come back here the second time. As I mentioned, based on my experience, I went back to Philippines after 3 weeks, and then I came back here after a month when my pass was approved, and it wasn't easy. I was held in the immigration office for almost, or more than 30 minutes, if I'm not wrong, for more than 30 minutes. And what's good is that I'm traveling with a cousin, so he was actually working in Singapore, and he vouched for me that if I work here in Singapore illegally, he is the one to be, you know, who will be liable for me working here illegally, which he knows I won't, because when I flew here, I already have the IPA. Guys, do note, IPA is not enough for you to go out of the Philippines as an OFW, as an overseas Filipino worker. No, it's not enough. Because if you will show your IPA, they will ask you to go through the correct legal process. There's nothing wrong with that. It's, I mean, it's proper, it's correct. The only thing is that if you do it in Singapore, it will take you a day to process all the papers. If you do it in the Philippines, it'll take forever. It'll take about maybe minimum of 1 month, 1 to 3 months if I'm not wrong, because you'll have to go on PDOS, you'll have to go get your be a member of POEA or something. Is it POEA? Overseas Employment Association, yeah, something like that. Anyway, there's a lot of things for you to go through before you can move out of the country as a worker, whereby if you process those papers here in Singapore, you just go to the Philippine embassy and you're a priority, because, you know, that's our embassy. So yeah, it's a lot easier to process everything here. But yeah, if you want to go to the correct legal process, then by all means, that's a very good, I really encourage that. In fact, it's just very long. Alright, so that's pretty much everything. I hope this vlog has been helpful. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment down below if you have any suggestions on what videos you want me to do next. Please support my channel. I'm wishing that we could hit, you know, a different level, so that you know support Filipino vloggers. And yeah, I hope this is helpful. If there's anything I can help you with, you need some answers to random questions, please comment down below. and then I'll try to do some videos about. Thank you guys for watching, and see you next time.